I'm welcoming you to another edition of Cryptosaurus. Ethereum is still in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is Cryptosaurus. As you can see, we are hovering around 390, below 400 for a week. This is weekly price change, so not even 1%. Today, we're gonna take a look at Ethereum search trends on Google Trends in the last year. Last time we checked it out on the scale of last 3 months. Today we are gonna do it on the scale of 1 year. Also, last time we did a technical analysis of Ethereum on a daily chart versus dollar versus Bitcoin. Today we are taking a step further. We are looking at Ethereum on a weekly chart, also versus dollar, also versus Bitcoin. If that interests you, stick around. First of all, a quick trend analysis of Ethereum in the last year. What you can see on this chart and why I brought it up is the current status of things in Ethereum, where we are currently at our maximum level that we've been in the last year at 100. So as you can see, from the August of last year 2019, the interest in Bitcoin has never been so high like it is on this week, last week, these days. I think we all can agree that the price is reflecting that. Currently hovering around 400 is pretty much a boost from the last few months. Let's head now to the technical analysis part and first do Ethereum versus dollar on a weekly chart. First and foremost important thing on this chart is something that we're gonna analyze straight away. It is the trend line that is having its roots, let's say, from 2017. The most important, definitely, trend line in Ethereum's history. It's a huge support. It was a huge resistance. And it's the line between the bull and the bear. Check it out. Zip! Can you see the significance of this line? In 2017, let me draw you. It provided huge resistance. Again, huge resistance. And then it made a boom. After that, provided in 2018 in April a huge support. Now let's follow this line even more further. It made a break in August of 2018, so it was about 2 years ago. And after that, making for Ethereum a real and the clearest bear market that would last for 2 years. Remember, we were below this trend line for 2 years. In 2019, we tried to get above it, got heavily rejected. In 2020, in February of this year, once again tried to get above it, got heavily rejected and had a huge crash. Just last month we had the breakout that we were waiting for. I will repeat, 2 years. In my opinion, we could do a retest of this trend line and use it as support after this huge momentum and huge boost. Okay, let's analyze now this big picture through Mr. Fibonacci. Let's see what it has to say about it. So if we take our first reference point, the peak of 2017, here, drew it all the way to the bottom, 2018, around $80. So we drew a trend line from 114 to 80 bucks. What is clearly indicating is this: the level of 23.76% is showing us clear resistance. As you can see, we are battling it right now. It provided a support at the 2018 and is now making a huge resistance. Although we broke our trend line, this horizontal support and resistance level is still not broken. When we break this level, we will only see fireworks. At least that is what Mr. Fibonacci is telling us. Because if you look at this chart, until, I don't know, 50% retracement at around 750 bucks, there is no problem from $400. So please keep a close eye on this level. After it's broken, ka-ching, money making. Okay, before we leave this USD chart on a weekly scale, please let me present you one other pattern that I've been researching for a while, and it's macro pattern that could be a sign of our macro reversal and going to the upside. Let me show you. First, we will make a horizontal line, a support from the top of this 2017 bubble. Let's make it our all-time high at around $1,400. After that, let's do current developments. We take this peak and connect it to this. Go to 2019, then travel to this year, March, when we had a big crash. Make a projection into the future. Something like this could be in the making. Okay, what is this pattern? It's one of the most relevant pattern in forming bottoms. It's a double bottom pattern. One bottom, second bottom. What's the timeline? Well, the timeline for this developing is around end of this year, around October of this year even. So if you follow this line, by the end of the year we could be heading to all-time highs, and that's nothing extraordinary about this. Don't you agree? Let me know in the comments, please. Now let me present you Ethereum versus Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Ethereum versus King of Bitcoin, let's say Queen of Crypto versus the King of Crypto on a weekly scale. So the data that's coming all the way from the beginning of 2017. First of all, let's draw some Fibonacci, but this time we will not use Fibonacci retracement but a Fibonacci trend-based Fib extension. What I'm about to show you is a sign how Fibonacci can show you the little bit of a future. So for this demonstration we will use the peak of 2017, but not the bubble, but a half a year later when Ethereum versus Bitcoin had an even bigger run. We will use this point connected to the point of the bubble and connected to the burst in 2018. Voila. So let me show you one more time if you didn't catch it. We connected this part with this and make a retracing move, because it was a downside move, to the beginning of the 2018. So this is our last point. What we got is something that could amaze you, because we saw that Ethereum made by this projection a clear downside target of 78.6%. As you can see, this was our bottom. And if I told you at the point of the beginning of 2018 that it will retrace all the way down to 17.6%. You will think I'm crazy, but there it is, Mr. Fibonacci. Of course, the 71.8% also made a resistance as something to consider in the future if we are heading that way. At that point, and at this point, yes, we are heading it that way. As a matter of fact, we are heading it that way from this bottom, and we are slowly but surely traveling to 61.8%. After that, 50% retracement is a clear indication of a support and resistance. See it? Yes, you see it, because it will make us from this point a huge resistance, just as it made a huge support from that time. So by the end of this year, you can expect Ethereum to find a huge resistance at 61.8%. That is about 0.03 satoshis. Okay, last thing, but not the least important thing, but one of the most important thing, is of course my favorite, the channel. Parallel channel that is traveling from the same peak of 2017, 3 years ago. I will show you now the validity of it. And there it is, the channel that is dating all the way from the beginning of 2017. Very long channel, if you can agree with me, which entered this channel at the beginning of the March of 2017, make a resistance at the upper band on the middle of this year, and this is our bubble. From that point we never touched that upper band, but we are currently in the making of it. Can you see that we are traveling right to the point of this channel? We also made a few supports on this downward trajectory, making this channel pretty valid. But the thing that is making this channel most valid, in my opinion, is this middle line. Look at this. Please look at how many times we made a support out of it, and even more times we made resistance out of it. Refuse, resist, refuse, resist, refuse, resist. Come on, man, break it out. Ready? And the breakout came this year. I will keep a close eye on this channel. God, it will surely show me the change in the domination trend between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Remember guys, this is not a USD chart, this is a Bitcoin chart. Ethereum versus Bitcoin on a weekly scale. Please, once again, let me know in the comments what you think about this idea. Do you like it? If you want to know what is happening in the future with this channel, I advise you to subscribe to this channel, because we will keep a close eye on this. And until the next time, the Cryptosaurus is roaring with you.